Hi, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and for unboxings.com. Here I have the Samsung S8000 JET, which is going to have a quick unbox for you before we obviously go away and do our regular written review. So, sliding open and flipping open the case. Pretty typical Samsung box design, has to be said. And the handset is immediately on top, which we'll look at in greater detail in a few moments. Also in the box, we have this nice case. Which is just slip style. You notice it is cut out a hexagon there, which actually corresponds with button on the front, and it's designed that we can actually push the buttons through the case if we chose to do so. It's not a belt style pouch, it literally is just a pouch, no belt clip or anything else, it's just to keep the handset clean and tidy. There's a small battery, which is a 1080 milliamp hour battery, quite small, a little chunky, but it is quite small and light. Also in the box then we have the Samsung charger, which is a micro USB style connector, obviously a standard UK 3-pin plug. Then have an inline microphone with a push button and a clip so that you can clip it onto your clothing, and the volume control. Microphone slot, microphone hole is just there. And then we have a 3.5mm headphone socket, so we can plug in standard 3.5mm headphones, so you can use your own. On the other end we have a 4-pole 3.5mm jack, obviously to support the headphones and the microphone there. But that's nice that this allows you to use your own headphones to make it into a wired headset. We then have a sync charge cable, which is a standard USB to micro USB sync charge cable. And then finally, we have the headphones. Now the headphones do look to be quite good. They are fairly well designed. They do look quite attractive. They are proper in-ear style noise isolating headphones. So they look quite good. They are fairly short because they are designed to go with that inline microphone adapter. But they do look to be reasonable quality headphones. Underneath, we have a small user manual and a screen protector, and warranty information in a small packet. All very small, lightweight and thin manual. Then we have a CD-ROM, which I'll get out of the box. We have a CD-ROM, which is our PC Studio software, which is for Windows only. It's a PC Studio USB driver, a electronic version of the user guide, and a mobile experience, whatever that is. But that's all in there, so just push all these out of the way. And let's take a look at the handset itself. You can see immediately I think quite an attractive design. It's fairly small, it is quite light. No, I haven't put the battery in yet, but it's still fairly light. There's a forward facing camera and a fairly large loudspeaker. We just peel off the screen protector. We have a 3.1-inch diagonal display, which is 480 by 800 pixels, so it's quite high res for such a physically small screen, so that's pretty cool. Below that I have phone keys, so hang up and answer keys, and then this little navigation area in the centre here, shaped like a hexagon. Quite unusual, and it's sort of cube-like in its sort of design there, as you can see with the faces. So that's quite cool. That's an unusual feature and certainly an attractive one. If you look at it sideways, it actually does slope down at the bottom, which is kind of interesting. If you think to the HTC Hero and the HTC Magic, which obviously go in the other direction, this one is sloping down. So it's a completely different concept there, I guess. So on the left-hand side, we have an up-down volume control rocker. There is a little slot just above that. Don't know if that has any actual function. I'll look at that in a bit more detail in just a second, but it's just a little hole. On the bottom, a hole for the microphone. On the right hand side, have a camera button and what looks to be like a lock button there. Again, we'll comment on those in a bit more detail when we've actually used them. On the top, we have a 3.5mm headphone socket, so as I say, you can use your own headphones or you can use the adapter to use a wired headset. And then we have cover over the micro USB connector, again right on top of the handset there. Back cover pops off like so, Space for a micro SD card here, and our SIM card goes in here. Pop the battery in, like so, and the back cover goes back on quite nicely. Let's just peel the sticker off the back, the protector off the back carefully. Now, I'm not sure how well this comes out on the camera here. It doesn't look too bad, but the back is in certain angles is completely black, and if the light hits it just right, it is a reddish, almost like a metallic-y finish, which is really quite cool, quite unusual. It does look quite good, and it's a nice design. And how curved the edges of the phone are there means it does sit nicely in your hand, and it does make it feel a bit smaller and seem quite a bit smaller, and also it probably affects how it feels in terms of weight. Also on the back we have a 5 megapixel autofocus camera with a flash, which is quite good. There's no mirror for making self-portraits, but the back again is so shiny, and you know, there's a sort of shiny area around the camera. You could probably do self-portraits if you wanted to. So let's just quickly power up. And immediately it's clear that the resolution of the screen is pretty impressive for, as I say, physically fairly small. I say small in relative terms. 3.1 inch isn't small. I mean small relative to the pixel size, 480 by 800. So that's just starting up. Small vibrate from inside. It's just asking me to calibrate the screen. So we don't have a stylus, so I'm assuming it's expecting me to do it with my finger. There we go. Okay, so let's just start up. While we're just talking about that, let me just run down the spec. 109mm from top to bottom, 53 wide, 12mm thick. Let's say quite lightweight, 99 grams. Talk time is quoted at 8 hours, and standby time 422 hours. It's an AMOLED display, which seems really nice. Those colours on there, which I know aren't going to come out terribly well on the camera there, but they are very rich. These yellows and oranges of this flower that's on the screen do look exceptionally good. It looks very cool. It is quad band for GSM, so you can pretty much use it throughout the world. 3G is dual band, and HSDPA is up to 7.2 megabits per second. The 5 megapixel camera has dual LED flash, as I mentioned. It does support geotagging because we do have a built-in GPS chip. Image stabilization, smile shutter, face detection and blink detection for when you're taking photographs of your friends. Can record video at 30 frames per second in VGA and up to 120 frames per second in QVGA. That's pretty cool. Have built-in FM radio, and we can record the FM radio. Again, that's pretty cool. Messaging supports email, POP3, SMTP, IMAP and Microsoft Exchange. Again, quite cool. Micro USB connector on top, Bluetooth 2, Wi-Fi is 802.11bng, and as I mentioned, an AGPS chipset. So let's just have a quick look at the OS, and it will only be a brief look because I haven't looked at it enough myself to really pass too much comment. But we can press button to bring up the keypad. And we have an extremely sensitive touch screen. Every time I'm touching the screen there is a small amount of haptic feedback, a little vibrate from inside, confirming that I have touched the screen. So that's quite good and very sensitive. And we come back out there, we've got a phone book. Clearly it's going to be empty at the moment, but a nice designed phone book. We can go back, and we can go into messages, and it would show our inbox for our email and SMS, drafts, outbox, sentbox and so on. And then we have a full menu with all our icons on it, including Google, media and music player, internet, video player, my files, calendar, camera, settings. And we go to settings menu, and we can got our phone profiles, phone settings and motion settings, and we can scroll those across. We have our FM radio, a voice recorder, video editor and so on. And then swiping across again, we have a well clock. We can set up our Wi-Fi, downloads, memos, converters and so on. So that's all pretty cool. Our radio there. I'll come back out of there. As I say, the screen is extremely sensitive and the display is really bright and clear. Fairly light in this room, as you can see, and aside from the obvious reflection of the screen being so shiny, you probably tell how clear it is even in daylight, which is unusual for these AMO LED displays. They're normally not so good in daylight or bright light, but exceptionally good indoors. But this one's working quite well. So we can go back to the main screen. We can customize this screen with widgets, as we've seen on other Samsung devices, and then we have some regular stuff down the outside. So we have a Facebook client down the side there, YouTube, we have Bluetooth client, some other bits and pieces, all customizable. There's widgets, AccuWeather, Google, and some other bits and pieces down the side there, so it's all pretty cool. So we'll talk about the OS in a bit more detail when it comes to do the full review. We're going to be using it over the next couple of weeks, and our review will be online on tracymac.co.uk, as I say, over the next couple of weeks. And if you're a fan of unboxing videos, please check out the rest that we have on unboxings.com.